All right, so my medicine cabinet. um, that, by the way, is just so bacteriostatic water is used to mix with peptides. I got it for some melanotan that I used once. It's still there, and then that's like an antibiotic that I don't use. But anyway, so from the top down, um, uh, let's see, B complex, calcium, because I don't, or okay, so the B complex is basically just methylated. So like if I flip it around, oh my god. So the good way to know about B vitamins, if they're easily or more easily absorbed, is if they're methylated, right? So, pardon my nail. So if you see like the B12, you see how it says like methylcobalamin versus like a cheaper one or a lesser one, I would call it, would say like cyanocobalamin. So it's talking about this thing called methylation. Methylation basically is where your body takes like a raw material and turns it into a usable thing for you. So like genetically, everybody has like different rates of methylation. I just call it like more efficient is a good way to know, like think about it. So like some people can methylate better than others. They can make things more usable than others. And so if you can't do that, which is like 4 out of 10 of the population, you would need it to be methylated for you, basically, to be able to absorb it properly. So long story short, these are easily absorbed. B vitamins are just generally for like energy production and stuff like that. I think it's a good idea to take a little extra. That's why I take this one. It's a really good price. It says to take 2. I just take 1. So I'll have that like in addition to the B vitamins from my multi that we're going to get to here in a second. But anyway, so that's the B complex. Calcium. I take calcium just because I don't do dairy right now, and so this is how I get it. And people don't consider like calcium as an electrolyte, so you don't want to skimp on that. Also, people consider, well, okay, so like people are gonna say that when you take calcium, it occupies the same receptor that is used to absorb like magnesium and stuff like that, and that's true. In a way, but like in my opinion, if you separate the timing of it, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. So like I'll take my calcium in the morning, magnesium glycinate I take at night. For the reason why is most people are deficient. It is an electrolyte, like I said, it plays a role in hydration, all that, and amongst a lot of other things. And it's cheap enough. I just take it at night. The glycinate form just helps with absorption, and okay, so like the glycine is the delivery mechanism here, which is an amino acid, and it's a precursor for something called GABA, which can, long story short, help your brain kind of turn off or relax at night. So I just say it's like for sleep is the way to think about it. So we're killing 2 birds. We're accounting for the deficiency that I more than likely have, and then I'm also helping with sleep. And I do notice anecdotally it does help a lot with that. So anyway, I like the citrate form of calcium in a capsule. I'm weird about pills. I don't like tablets or anything. Just capsules, just because there's less binders and fillers. It's a lot easier to absorb. I think it's a little bit cleaner. And then the citrate is just it's a delivery mechanism for the calcium. It's citric acid. Acids are more water soluble, so just think like it absorbs faster. Citrates are good generally. Okay, so then omega-3. This is the one fish oil I've ever had that doesn't have a weird smell to it. Just take that for what it's worth. It's also the cheapest. It's probably like a quarter of the price of any of the other brands I've had. Like, man, what were they? Like Norwegian Gold from, it's like a brand with a sun. I don't remember, but it was like, that one was really good, but it was like $70 a bottle or something back in the day at Vitamin Shop. There's a lot of others like Nordic Naturals and stuff like that. Long story short, I would do now because this is like $12 a bottle and it lasts forever. You get like, if I do 2 a day, this bottle lasts me 3 months. For 15 bucks, it's crazy. So I bought like 5 bottles. But yeah, so the big thing with fish oil is that you want it to be, where does it say, enteric coated there in the middle. So basically with fish oil, I can just show you, hold on. So like, you see how there's like a matte finish to it almost, as opposed to, you've probably seen fish oils that are like shiny, like particularly shiny. The reason why you don't want that and you want this here is because that enteric coating is like a finish that protects the gelatin that encapsulates the oil from the stomach acid. And so if this gelatin can pass through your stomach acid protected and make its way to the small intestine, you absorb it better. So like if you ever get those shiny fish oils from like Walmart or whatever, you know, various brands that don't have this enteric coating on them, the gelatin is susceptible to breakdown in your stomach acid. And so if you imagine that gelatin dissolves and then the fish oil gives you like this reflux kind of thing, that's how you get fish burps, which we don't want. And also it's speaking to how poorly it's being absorbed because it's not making its way to the small intestine. Just something to think about. So anyway, okay, fish oil. And let's see. Oh, the purpose of which, by the way, omega-3s, most people are deficient relative to the amount of 6 in their diet. It's an anti-inflammation thing. We can do another video on inflammation, but omega-3s are important. It's cheap, it's high quality, just throw it in, why not? Okay, so lutein and zeaxanthin. This is gonna be weird, like weirdly specific, I mean, but like, it's a cheap thing. I noticed it was low in me relative to my diet because I don't do a lot of green vegetables, and you'll notice I think it says like it comes from green vegetables or whatever. But it's basically for eye health, and I've noticed since I've been taking it, it's weird, like I sleep better and I can see better. It's been so long, like over a year. It's taken a long time for it to have that kind of an effect, but anecdotally it's pretty substantial. Now, if you're having a lot of green vegetables, you probably don't need something like that. I just don't prefer them, so that's why I take this. Just something to think about. But I've noticed that you can track these levels amongst a lot of other weird micronutrients like this in Chronometer, and that'll probably be another video. But yeah, anyway, just something kind of specific to me. And then vitamin D. So most people are deficient. 5,000 I think is a moderate dose for most adults. Now, I used to work in pharmacy a long time ago, and a really common thing, even if you're prescribed it, I'll try and hold this camera steady, sorry. Even if you're prescribed it or given it in a clinical setting, most doctors will write for like a 50,000 unit dose once a week. The downside of that, in my opinion, is that you have like kind of a really acute spike, because it's a hormone, right? That's why it's measured in IU. So it'll like go up real sharp and then it'll come down just as sharp, and then it'll kind of like, you know, stay low for a while. And especially if you're only doing that once a week, versus if you have a more moderate dose daily, it's like more steady, you know, that's the way I think of it. And I have the blood work to prove it too, where like it gets high and it stays high and even too. And I'm gonna get a little bit of my multi here that I'll talk about, but I think 5,000 for most adults is a good idea. And the gist of it is that it helps with hormone production, like testosterone production. It helps with balancing your circadian rhythm, sleep, really important, immune function. It's really cheap. Like you get this 8-month supply for like $15, I think. I think I got it for 10 on sale on Amazon. I'm a fan of this Now brand, by the way. I'm not sponsored, but they're really good. So anyway, oh, and get a soft gel too. So because it's fat soluble, you want a carrier oil, as opposed to like if you were to get a capsule or something like that. The soft gel just allows it to have that oil to, basically it acts as a courier to perforate the cell better, you absorb it better. So long story short, soft gel for vitamin D. And then multivitamin. So similar to what I was talking about earlier with the B vitamins, there's different forms of all these things. The thing that makes this better, I mean, Derek, who owns this company for More Plates, More Dates, Gorilla Mind, he has like a whole like hour plus video on breaking this thing down. The gist of it and why I like it, one, it's a capsule. I mentioned I don't like tablets, so that's cool. It says to take 3 capsules twice a day. I just do it once because my diet's pretty eclectic, so I don't think I need that. And then you'll notice all the forms on here, like in parentheses next to the names of the vitamins. Long story short, if you were to look up each form, these are the more easily absorbed forms. So it kind of like does all that for you, where it's like, instead of like, am I getting the right thing for, you know, vitamin A versus B versus C, whatever? Am I getting all the good, like the proper forms of each that will actually absorb? And is this the best kind? Short answer, yes, for this. So I've tried a lot of multivitamins. I feel the best when I take this. Just something to think about. So anyway, and all of these I kind of prep ahead of time, except for the powders, which is just this. But like all these, I'll do in these little jars from Blender Bottle. And they'll look like this. And I'll just take this in the morning, fasted with my morning concoction drink, and wait 20-ish minutes and then have meal one. So that's like my morning vitamin routine. So if you have any questions, let me know.